With this True Blue salutes, I'm Karla Whittington, and joining us today are two FFA officers, a part of the Burwell FFA chapter. Joining us is Ericka Larsen, the president of the Burwell FFA chapter. In addition, is Brookelyn Gideon, the secretary of the FFA chapter. How are you girls doing today?
We're good, thank you.
Yes, very good.
That's good. In talking about the FFA chapter as a whole, the Burwell FFA chapter is pretty involved in community events and then also therein within the school. Share a little bit more about some of those activities that the Burwell FFA chapter is a part of.
Yes, so we do try and get our community involved as well as the younger students just to help grow our FFA chapter. In the last couple of years, our class sizes have really decreased, so our FFA involvement has also decreased. The senior class this year, we worked with the elementary student on a farm to safety event, going around to all the classrooms and just teaching them about FFA and about safety on the farm. We did ice cream and had just a fun thing for them. As well as for community events, we hold a pancake feed just for appreciation because our FFA chapter is very supported and it's greatly appreciated. So for community, we do pancake feeds and we do different trash pickups. And then also for FFA week, we do the pancake feed for FFA week. And then we also do petting zoos for the younger kids and just other fun things just to get them involved.
That sounds really fun and exciting, having ice cream and some different animals at school. In addition to having this fun time, there also is more on the serious side of things, having to study for contests. Contests are a major part of FFA. Let's start with you, Brookelyn. What are some FFA contests that you were a part of so far this year?
Yeah, so we kick off the year starting with livestock judging, range judging, sorry. So we go to range judging, I'd say the first few months of school. Mm-hmm. We start off with that.
4 range judgings,
Yep, and then we kind of move into livestock judging, which I'm a part of both range judging along with Ericka and livestock judging. So after livestock judging, which kind of ends around Christmas, and then we come back and we start our LDEs, which are in January. And so we actually just finished up with those. And then we move into CDEs, which we're studying for right now to go to Norfolk next Tuesday for that event, which is districts. And so we're hoping to solidify a spot as state. And then and then it's state time. So those are kind of all the events. Ericka and I are both involved in all 4. And so, yeah, we're pretty busy throughout the year with FFA, but it's super fun.
Yes.
And talking about those CDE events that are going to be coming up next week that you mentioned, what are some of those contests that you do in CDE? I believe CDE stands for the Career Development Events. Mm-hmm. What are some of those different contests specifically within that contest category that you're a part of?
You want me to? Okay, I don't care. So I'm in a part of nursery and landscaping, which involves identifying plants and trees. There's over 200 in the whole list that you obviously don't get to memorize all of them, but you try your best. And then you do pest identification and also you try to identify the tools you may use during it. And then, you have kind of word problems that you have to work out with your team, and then they judge you off of your overall score. And it's pretty complicated because there's so many things you have to memorize, but I like doing it with my team because we have a team of 4 and we have a lot of fun doing it.
The events that I'm involved in, one of probably my favorite FFA events is ag sales. And I like it because it's a little bit of intimidation, I do have to say. But basically, they give you a product beforehand, and you can study a little bit and learn a little bit about it. And then you go into just a big room with people sitting at tables, and there'll be 2 people. And you sit down and you try and sell your product to them. And like I said, it's a little bit intimidating, but I like a little bit of thrill. So yes, it's a very fun contest. And then this year, I'm also doing livestock management, which I've never done before, but I'm super excited about it. It's livestock management. So basically, you go through and you identify different types of rations and things like that, and breeds and just all those different things. And then another CDE that I did last year was vet science, which is a little bit like that, where you identify the products of just different ag products and then also the breeds and different things like that. So they're all really fun.
That sounds all really fun out of all those contests. It sounds like there's quite a bit of group effort with these different contests. How does practice go in trying to get everyone ready and to be a part of this group to compete as a group, but then also individually?
Yeah, so in my group, we have the four, like I stated earlier. And so three are in my class currently. And then we have one who's a junior. And so she's not in our classes. So we try and make one big like slideshow is what we have of everything that we need to memorize. And so we send that out to everyone so you can practice individually. We practice together here in a class with the other two girls that I'm with. And then the junior, she kind of has to do it by herself, but we all are studying the same material. And so, yeah, I'd say it's definitely individually, like on the weekends or upcoming, we have a really long break. So we're going to have to study individually to be ready next Tuesday. But also we can make it a group effort by studying in class together.
Yeah, so our ag sales team and our livestock management team this year also have a large variety of people from freshmen all the way up to seniors. So it has been a little bit difficult to get together and study, but we have a class period where it's just like kind of a study hall. And so we can try and get together then, but otherwise it is a lot of putting things together and then studying on your own.
In addition to the contest side of things that we've been talking a lot about, there's also another big portion of FFA that's the SAE, a supervised agricultural experience. Let's talk a little bit more about what all goes into each of your SAEs. We'll start with you, Ericka. Share a little bit more about what your SAE is and what all goes into it.
So I have two main SAEs. One of them is working for the Larsen Ranch, and within working for the Larsen Ranch is my second SAE, which is the Conservation Stewardship Program, also known as the CSP program. And what I do for that is I oversee and I manage the Larsen Ranch's Conservation Stewardship Program. So that's basically, it's for the environment, to better the environment, to better the land. And so right now I am doing a 5-year contract with 42 intertwined practices that we have to do. And it's a government-based program that I do. And so I fill out the paperwork and make sure that everything's done. Some things that we're working on right now are the cover crops, the hay samples, the body condition score, the cedar tree control through burning and just cutting cedar trees, as well as planting different shrubs and trees and shelter belts, and just doing a lot of things to better the environment. And so, yeah, so for what I do for that is just I do the paperwork and then I line up different consultants and I talk with the NRCS consultant. That's who I work with because she's the one who I turn in our like project at the end of the years with her. So I do that. And then for the Larsen Ranch, I just do different things with like lots of record keeping for them, for calving and everything. And then tagging, branding, moving cows, all the things. So those are my two main things. So it's been fun. Kind of, you do the projects, but then seeing them in the SAE record book really, like, it's kind of rewarding to see all your efforts and just how it turns out for you.
Yeah, mine's definitely not as like important or technical as Ericka's, but I'll take away my two main ones. One's probably my beef projects over the past few years. I showed 4-H in FFA 2 for my show cattle. And so I have one for every year that I've shown. And yeah, pretty much I just take the paycheck that I get at the end of the summer, which is our premium check, and I put it in with a journal. But like, you also have to journal every month and what you do every month. And so like Ericka said, seeing that all come together at the end of the year when you're done with all that, it's super rewarding to see all the work that you've put in. And also the next one I would say is probably the Green Thumb, which is where I work right now. And it's a little coffee shop and hometown store. And I'd say that's also super fun to put your paychecks in and see how much you've made and all, but also journal, everything that you get to do during your job.
Overall, Brooklyn, in with your SAE and also the contest side of things, what are some key skills that you feel that you're gaining that you can use in the future with your future career or even just in general, some key skills that you're able to gain?
Yes. I'd say the big one is organization. With your SAE, you have to be organized because you have to keep all of your paychecks in line. And then also, like, you have to make sure you have the right date for your journal entries or for your paycheck entries. You can't have just enter them all on one day because that doesn't really look very good. And so, yeah, organizing. Communication is a big one also that I've learned because with having a boss, you do have to make sure that you are getting paid on time, but also it comes with keeping yourself accountable with getting that put into your SAE, which can be pretty time consuming. But yeah, those were the two I'd say I'd taken away from skills.
And in rounding out our conversation here today, Erica, you are the president of the Burwell FFA chapter. In that leadership role, what advice would you give individuals that are just now stepping into FFA or even considering whether or not to join?
I would just say the FFA has a lot of benefits, and kind of going off the last question you asked, Brooklyn, the connections that you make through FFA is just unmatchable. You can't hardly meet people like you do in FFA. So I would just say go out there and get involved, take the risk, do the contests that you might not know about, your advisor might not know about, and just go out there and yeah, take the risk because you might find out that you really like it. You might find out you don't like it, but you can't find out if you don't like it unless you try it. So just get involved because the opportunities are endless, and it gives you a lot of skills. I think one of the main skills that I've gained is probably just communicating, like you said. But I mean, it's scary as a high schooler to go out and just talk to people. And I've had a proficiency, be at state a couple times, and had interviews, which I was very nervous about as a sophomore in high school. But now I can confidently say that walking up to different people of any age has been tremendously easier through doing the ag sales, through doing the interviews, and just going out and meeting people. And so that's just super important. So yes, I would say get involved in FFA, meet people, and take a risk.
Well, thank you both for taking time to join me today to do this week's True Blue Salute. Again, that was Ericka Larsen and Brookelyn Gideon from the Burwell FFA chapter with this week's True Blue Salute on the Rural Radio Network.